Remember when Hillary Clinton said this?
We must accept this result and then look to the future. Donald Trump is going to be our president. We owe him an open mind and the chance to lead.
That was Hillary's concession speech the day after Donald Trump won. Well, now Hillary's campaign says it will take part in recounts orchestrated by the Green Party candidate Jill Stein. So how do Democrats feel about this? Here to weigh in, Democrat and former CIA operative and ops officer Brian Dean Wright. He joins us today from Portland, Oregon. Good morning to you, Brian.
Well, very good morning to you.
It's good to have you. Okay, so the next day after Hillary Clinton lost, you saw her on television. She gave that concession speech. You felt good in your heart because that's the way a peaceful transition of power is supposed to happen, right?
That's right. Listen, nobody likes to lose, but we all do in life, and so she conceded. It was appropriate, and you move on.
It's that simple. But now we're learning that maybe she was not genuine because apparently, according to her campaign, the day after the election, she brought in lawyers and data analysts and all sorts of statistical people to try to figure out how to change the outcome, right?
Listen, if you concede, then the race is over.
Right.
If you don't want to concede, if you believe that there's still a reason that you might win, you don't concede. And you engage all these folks, and you start diving into the numbers to figure out if you can win. And that just isn't the case. It wasn't the case. And now we're stuck talking about this when we, particularly as a party and certainly as a country, should be talking about the next couple of years working with the president in 2018 elections.
Sure. So because, and you have written an op-ed, because Hillary was not genuine at her concession speech and behind the scenes is working to do whoever knows what is going on, you're frustrated and you are ashamed of the Democrat Party, and you're a Democrat.
That's right. Listen, I can be fair. I can be frustrated in my party. That's American. Listen, I want to move forward. And we can't do that if we're taking time and money and effort to be focused on the past, on an election that we acknowledge that we lost. The president said is a reflection of the will of the people. So knock it off. Let's move forward as a country and as a party.
Yeah.
She just frustrates me.
Well, so Jill Stein and her campaign initiated this, supposedly. And then it almost, a couple of days ago, it sounded like the Hillary Clinton campaign reluctantly joined because they were going to do it anyway. But even that looks bogus now, too, doesn't it?
Listen, she has either a legal obligation to do this, which she does not. She has perhaps a moral obligation that she might feel, which she does not. So this is a political obligation. This is a political decision. And listen, I appreciate she has every right to do this. It's not a question of whether or not she can do this or she has the right to do it. It's the question of, does she have the people behind her, supporting her to do this? Ought she do this? Should she do this? And as a Democrat, that's really what this boils down to. And I think that the answer is no.
Ultimately, though, all parties say that it's not going to change the result, which brings in the motivation. And it looks like the motivation from all the parties involved is simply to make Donald Trump, the president, look illegitimate.
Well, I certainly have heard that argument, and I think it's a fair argument to make. And if that's the case, then shame on us, because at the end of the day, Donald Trump is our president. But it doesn't matter if I like that or not. He is. Right. The American people made their choice, and now it's time to move on. And again, we're not going to do that if we're spending lots of money and lots of time and energy on something that can't be changed.
Well, they're doing all that. Brian Dean Wright, former CIA ops officer, we thank you very much for joining us today from Portland, Oregon, with your frustration on what's going on with the recount. Thank you, Brian.
You bet. Thank you.